Elementary Science Class 6. Air around us. Is air present everywhere around us? Hey, have you ever wondered if air is present everywhere around us?
No, I haven't. Is it really present everywhere?
Yes, air is present everywhere around us. It occupies space and fills all the space in a container.
How can we observe this?
We can observe it through an activity. Take an empty open bottle and dip the open mouth of the bottle into a bucket filled with water. Observe the bottle. Does water enter the bottle?
No, it doesn't. Why is that?
The bottle was not empty at all. In fact, it was filled completely with air even when you turned it upside down. That is why you notice that water does not enter the bottle when it is pushed in an inverted position, as there was no space for air to escape. When the bottle was tilted, the air was able to come out in the form of bubbles, and water filled up the empty space that the air had occupied.
Wow, I had no idea. So air occupies space and is present everywhere around us.
Yes, air is present everywhere around us. It has no color and is transparent. Our Earth is surrounded by a thin layer of air called the atmosphere. As we move higher in the atmosphere, the air gets rarer. That's why mountaineers carry oxygen cylinders with them while climbing high mountains. What is air made up of? Have you ever wondered what air is made up of?
Yes, I have. It's a complex mixture of gases.
That's right. Did you know that air is made up of water vapor, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide?
Really? I had no idea. What are their functions?
Water vapor is important for the water cycle in nature. Oxygen is the component that supports burning, and nitrogen is the major part of air that does not support burning. Carbon dioxide is a small component of the air, and excess of it can lead to suffocation.
Wow, I had no idea air was so complex. Is there anything we can do to maintain air composition?
We can reduce our carbon footprint, avoid burning dry leaves and crop remains, and be mindful of our impact on the environment. Did you know that dust particles are always present in the air?
Really? I had no idea. What about smoke?
Smoke contains a few gases and fine dust particles and is often harmful. That's why you see long chimneys in factories. This takes the harmful smoke and gases away from our noses, but brings it closer to the birds flying up in the sky.
Wow, that's alarming. What can we do to protect ourselves?
We can start by being mindful of our breathing and avoiding breathing through our mouth. Fine hair and mucus are present inside the nose to prevent dust particles from getting into the respiratory system. We can also support conservation efforts to reduce air pollution. How does oxygen become available to animals and plants living in water and soil? Yes, I have. How does it happen?
Yes, I have. Do you have any idea how it happens?
Well, animals living in water use the dissolved oxygen in water, and organisms living in soil need oxygen to respire.
How do organisms living in soil get the air they need for respiration?
When water is poured on the soil, it displaces the air, which is seen in the form of bubbles. The organisms living inside the soil and plant roots respire in this air. Burrows and holes formed in deep soil by animals living in the soil also make spaces available for air to move in and out of the soil.
That's fascinating. But what happens when it rains heavily?
In this situation, water fills up all the spaces occupied by air in the soil. Animals living in the soil have to come out for respiration. This could be the reason why earthworms come out of the soil only during heavy rains.
Interesting. But how does the atmosphere not run out of oxygen, even though a large number of organisms are consuming it?
The oxygen in the atmosphere is refilled by plants through the process of photosynthesis, which produces oxygen as a byproduct. How is the oxygen in the atmosphere replaced? Did you know that plants produce oxygen during this process?
Yes, and they also consume oxygen for respiration, but they produce more of it than they consume. That's why we say plants produce oxygen.
That's right. And animals cannot live without plants. The balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is maintained through respiration in plants and animals and by the photosynthesis in plants. This shows the interdependence of plants and animals.
Wow, I had no idea. Are there any other uses of air?
Yes, air helps in the movements of sailing yachts, gliders, parachutes, and airplanes. Birds, bats, and insects can fly due to the presence of air. Air also helps in the dispersal of seeds and pollen of flowers of several plants. Air plays an important role in the water cycle.